What's good, y'all? And welcome to another episode of Come On In and Get Some with the Bishop. Let's go.
I used to think if I couldn't find hope, I should just let it all go. I used to think if I couldn't make dreams come true, I should just let them all go. When life seems impossible, look from a new angle, change just one little thing.
All right, everybody, just calm down. Just calm down. The Bishop's here. And I want to welcome you to another episode of Come On In and Get Some with the Bishop. Fellas, I'm up. Well, fellas and ladies, I am up to 77. Come on here now. Y'all get me to 80. That's my goal. We're on the road to 80 subscribers, okay? So to tell your mama, your daddy, your bishop, your cousin, your auntie on your mama's side that's cousins with your brother and his sister, tell them about it too. Okay. Excuse me. I have been through a lot in the last couple of days. I'll get to that in just a minute. All right. But I thank you guys for coming, and I thank you for showing up, and I thank you for giving me the support. It means the most to me, and you'll never understand how much, okay? So this is going to be a quick one. I'm not really coming to you with scriptures tonight. I'm just going to tell you about my experience that I had. But before I do that, I want to say a good greetings to all of my people, all of my followers who are joining me in being the followers of the way. Absolutely. And I greet you in Hebrew, Shalom Aleichem and Baruch Hashem, which means peace be unto you and thank our God in heaven, our Father in heaven. All right, I'm going to go straight into my preliminaries. You know how I do every video. I want to give a shout out to the Cool Table and the Syndicate Network and all of the colleagues. The Syndicate Network and the Cool Table consist of 4 guys who are spearheading our hashtag Sell movement, which is hashtag Sell ZSJL to Netflix and hashtag Sell Snyderverse to Netflix. I'll tell you about what that's going on, a little bit more about that later in the video. But the first guy we want to honor is the Lobo of our situation, El Necron. El Necron, also known as El Boogie, he's essential in this movement. Okay, he's a good guy and he helps us a lot, and his opinion is very valuable in things, and he's helped us a lot in this movement. And so go on over to El Necron's channel and give him some love. All right, he has his own rock band. He has his own a podcast called The Witching Hour, and he has a couple of more other things. So go on over there and check him out and give him the love and tell him that Bishop sent you. The second one we want to talk about is the Barry Allen, the Flash of the Cell movement, the Good Austin. The Good Austin is a cool dude. That's one of my friends. And I like to call him the tech guy of the situation. Okay, because he helps everybody with the videos. He's a producer. He's a rapper. He's a singer. He's into sports. His family is deep into motorsports. And he's a cool guy. Me and him have a couple of collaborations that's coming out soon. Okay, so going over there to the Good Austin and show him some love. Now we come to the Batman, the Bruce Wayne of our movement. And his name is Leon. And he's of the New Geeks. All right? Leon is calm, cool, collected, intelligent, and he has a good beat on the human condition. And, it's really inspiring. Okay? He just started his channel up again, and started making more content on his channel, and he's blowing up. And going over there to the New Geeks and check him out. All right? He's the brilliant man that came up with the second hashtag, which is hashtag Sell Snyderverse to Netflix. But now we're going to bring up our fearless leader, the head, one of the heads, I should say, of the hashtag Cell movement, our Black Superman, Skywalker the Jedi. Absolutely. Skywalker is a good friend. He's got a good heart. He's very passionate about this movement, and he's passionate about everything that he's into. He came up with the hashtag, the brilliant hashtag of hashtag sell ZSJL to Netflix, which is hashtag sell Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix. Okay? So what we're trying to do, we're trying to get WB Studios, as I tell you every time, to license the Justice League characters, Zack Snyder's Justice League characters, over to where he's currently killing it at Netflix. He's killing it with his latest movie, Rebel Moon, that came out in 2 parts. Rebel Moon, the Child of Fire, and Rebel Moon, the Scar Giver. And on August the 2nd of this year, he will be dropping the director's cut of Rebel Moon. Oh, it's going to be something serious. For those of us who have seen the first 2 movies and loved them because of the action and the story, this is going to take it to 12. If those 2 parts of the movie of Rebel Moon were a 10, he's taking this to a 15. Okay? Netflix has let him show out. So go on over there to Netflix and give Zach some support. And don't forget to go over to Skywalker the Jedi's channel and give him some love too. All right. Now I want to give a big shout out to all of us who are in the Mikey verse. Mikey Sutton is a good friend of ours. Unfortunately, he passed away last year. He was a scooper supreme, which means he gave scoops on our comic book movies and situations years ahead of time. There are things that he had predicted long before he passed that are coming true right now, including Deadpool and Wolverine. And we're going to talk about that a little bit too. He had his own web magazine called Geekosity Magazine. Yes. And this is where he spoke about a lot of these things. And he also is a comic book content creator. He had a graphic novel that he created entitled Dream Walker. And the art was done by the world-renowned artist, Noel Leon Flores. So go on over there to geekositymagazine.com and support Mikey's legacy, because we're carrying it on for him. All right, everybody. Y'all don't understand the hell I have just been through in the last 3 to 4 days. Well, for the last couple of months, I've had an on again, off again toothache over on this side of on this side. And it was, and come Friday, I think, was it Friday? Yeah, Friday, I woke up and, well, it woke me up. The pain woke me up, and it was throbbing and just a constant pain. Usually I would stay it off with a little bit of a couple of Tylenol, juicy mouth, a couple of Tylenols and some Listerine. You know, it would calm it down and everything. But that was not working. The Tylenols were not working. I was popping them like chiclets or Skittles, and it wasn't working. And then the Listerine wasn't working. So I spent from 3:30 in the afternoon till 10:30 at night in the emergency room at the hospital that I go to. And I was in so much pain, y'all. I was actually literally crying. I was pretty, but I was crying. I did a pretty cry. I don't cry ugly. I don't do that. No, I'm just playing. Anyway, but no, seriously, I was tortured, and I had to wait there in that damn lobby for hours. I got there around 3:30. I didn't get seen until about 7. I spent that entire time almost, well, a little bit before 7. They came and this chick, she saw me, and I couldn't even sit down. I had to stand up, and she took pity on me, and she tried to expedited it a little bit more. so they can, get to my pain, because I told her I was in so much pain. And it was that kind of pain that would just come in waves. It would constantly be there, but then it would intensify in waves and waves. Oh, it was horrible. And so she came in there and she told me she gave me this little cocktail that they give everybody with dental pain and stuff. And one of them was one of the pills was oxycodone. I have never taken that in my life. Okay, and I don't want to get used to taking it. Okay, but it was oxycodone. I think she said it was a ibuprofen 1000, and it was 2 other pills. And I took it, and it seemed like when I took it, it seemed like the pain was just fighting against the medicine. The medicine would try to cool it down a little bit, then it'll flare back up, and then it'll cool down a little bit, then it'll flare back up. Oh my God. I was praying. I was upset because I had been praying all that day before I went to the hospital. I was praying, Lord, why don't you please take this away from me? Great Yahushua, please. What have I done wrong? Am I not doing something right? I'm sorry for whatever I've done, please. So I was kind of mad at him. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm being real with y'all. Our bishop can be mad, but he showed me my true reason for being there. But so they took that and it finally started to kick in. The pills finally, I still haven't been seen yet, but the pills finally kind of kicked in. And there was a young white woman that was right across from me sitting in the chair. And she was leaning down on him and like back, because she had been sitting there about the same time as I was. So she was getting tired of sitting in that chair and, she was uncomfortable. And I looked over, I said, I know, honey, I know exactly what you feel. And we started giggling. And then I told her that I was a bishop, an ordained bishop. I said, yeah, I may not look like one, but I am. I'm an ordained bishop. And I started telling her about my YouTube channel and stuff immediately. She's the 77th one. And if you're watching, Miss Morrow, I didn't get your first name. If you see this video, get down in the comments and leave me your first name, because I know it's Morrow, but I didn't. Because remember the whole Morrow thing. But we sat there and we talked, and come to find out, she's been honest. She's been studying and searching and learning about the Lord too. She knows His name is Yahushua. Okay, she knows that. And I was breaking down some things like I'll be breaking it down to you guys about how when the Lord breaks it down to me. And I was telling her about how 3 are 1, how he's the actual literal words of our Father, and you can't activate the word without the breath. She was like, oh, she was like that. So she said, I know we're talking about the same person because he teaches me the same thing, and he breaks it down to me like he breaks it down to you. I said, oh, as soon as she said that, I realized why the Lord why Yahushua did not heal me at my home. Because if he would have healed me at my home, I wouldn't have went to the hospital. And if I wouldn't have went to the hospital, I wouldn't have saw this young woman. And we wouldn't have been conversating and talking about the Lord. And now she's one of my followers. She's one of the followers of the way. I was there. And not to mention that, just like I told you, I don't believe in coincidences. But there was a young woman there, LaShonda. Hey, LaShonda, if you see this video. She was there. She was in pain. She's from my church that I used to have with my bishop. She was a member of our church. Her and her kids. And her sister. Twin sister. Okay? And she was there. And she recognized me because my eyeballs, they pretty, but I can't see well. So I didn't notice her. And she said, Bishop, because they always call me Bishop. Bishop Dennis, she said, Bishop Dennis Williams. I said, now I was waiting. I thought it was the doctor that called me. He was talking about some but when they said Bishop, I'm like, wait a minute. And then I was standing right next to her. I was like, somebody called my name? She said, I did. And I looked down, and she's right there in the wheelchair. I said, hey, baby girl, how you doing? And I hugged her. And I said, what's wrong? She's like, I'm just in pain. I'm in pain in my stomach. And so I prayed over her. I stood there and I prayed over her. I said a prayer over her. and everything. And it seemed like it kind of worked because she was kind of, getting a little bit calmer later on as because she was still sitting out there after I did go and got seen, and I went and got seen. She was still sitting there when I was waiting for my cab to come home. But so they went in there, and luckily it is infected, but it's only localized. It didn't get to my throat. It didn't spread anything. So they gave me some ibuprofen and they gave me some penicillin, and I've been taking it ever since I got home last night. And when I tell you all day today, it acted like none of it was working. None of it. I would sit there. I would sit on the side of my bed because I couldn't lay down. I'd sit on the side of my bed, and waves of pain would just come to the point where I had to get up and walk. And as I realized, as I got up and walked, and I would go, like that. When I do, it made the pain go away a little bit. So that's what I would do every time the wave would come up. I'd get up and walk and go, or lean over on my bed and go, because it seemed to make it go away. And then I would have a bout of peace for a minute. But see, it was a two-edged sword, because when I get that bout of peace, I was so sleepy because I haven't been getting sleep for the last couple of days because the pain wouldn't allow me to sleep. So every time I would get that little reprieve, I would start to fall asleep. But if I fall asleep, then the pain would come, wake me back up. I had to get up and walk around. That went on all day today until about, and I kept taking, because I have to take the ibuprofen. I had to take 3 times a day or as needed, and the penicillin I had to take every 6 hours. So on every 6 hours, I was taking the hell out of them, and it just kept going until maybe when like right before Sky did his stream tonight, because I was in the chat for his Skywalker the Jedi. I was in his stream tonight because he was talking about Deadpool and Wolverine, spoiler free. Okay, and I love that movie. It's so hot. If you have not seen Deadpool and Wolverine, please go. You're gonna enjoy it. It's a hot mess, but it's so much fun, and it's so good. It's the best MCU movie that they put out since Endgame, to me. Now, I like a lot of stuff, but this is the best one. You've never seen Wolverine like this. But anyway, back to the story. So they went in there and they gave me the penicillin. I've been taking the penicillin, and like right before Sky stream tonight, everything calmed. I was laying back on my bed, and it seemed like all the pain had drained away real quick. And I was like, oh, this feels so good. And then I fell asleep for like about a half hour. And I woke up, and it's still not bothering. I still feel a little twinge in there. But I think all the penicillin and the ibuprofen built up in my system now, so it's starting to kick in. So thank Yahushua for that. So I'm not mad at him anymore. It's because I realized why I had to go there. I realized that. Because there were people that needed to see me and needed to talk to me. That was my assignment. And he used the pain that I was in to go. Because, if he would have cured me at home, if he would have stopped the pain at home, I wouldn't have went. I was just waiting till Monday, like I'm going to do this Monday, and call the dentist so I can go and get these removed. These 2 teeth that I want removed. Out. So that was my story. I went through hell. But the thing about the moral of the story is that you never know what our Father in heaven is using your circumstances for. You may be going through your circumstances and do not see no way out. You do not see how it's going to end. You don't know why you're going through it. But trust me. He just reminded me, going through this, that I have a purpose. There's a reason. And sometimes he's our Father. Sometimes you got to spank that ass to get your child to get up and do what he's supposed to do. Why do you think he says in the word, spare the rod, spoil the child? I do not come from that era of where, We're just going to put him in timeout. And we do not believe in spanking because violence does not solve violence. Violence begets violence. No, whoop that ass. Whoop that ass. That's the problem with these children nowadays now. Because everybody is such wusses and scared to death of their children, calling the cops on them. Mama, I told my mama I'll call. Well, I didn't say it. I kind of suggested it. Because if I just said it straight out, I wouldn't be here right now. But I suggested that. She was like, go ahead, call them. Call them. And when they come, I'll be whooping your ass. And I'm gonna hand you over to them and say, if you don't want me to whoop my child, you raise him. I was like, okay, Mom, well, dang. You ain't gotta do all that. I'm sorry. I was just joking. But that's what it is. It's a whole bunch of weak ass parents in this last generation. No, we're not gonna whip him. We're just gonna just discipline him. No. Go outside and get a switch. 3 of them if you want to, like my grandmama did. Braid them sons of bitches, excuse my language, and whoop that ass. Take a nice leather belt that my mama and my grandmama used to use. Wrap it around one end around your fist. Grab that ass. Bend it over. Or hold his upper part in between your legs so that ass is exposed and commence to tearing that ass up. Because children need that. Listen, I got my ass whooped, but I never got it whooped for the same thing twice. Trust. And I didn't get my ass whooped all the time. Only when I did stupid things that I wasn't supposed to do. Like crossing the street when nobody's crossing the street and not looking where I'm going, or outside cussing up a storm when I'm only 14, or doing stuff like that. Okay, there's certain things that your child need their ass whooped for. It puts respect. It puts respect on your parents. They give respect to their parents. It made me respect my mom. My mama was 69 years old when she passed. I was 37. Okay, I lived with her all my life. Call me a scrub or whatever. But when my father passed, it was just me and her, ride or die. Okay, because she was not the kind of woman that would go out there and go to the bars. She didn't have a whole bunch of friends like that because she didn't trust a lot of people. Because people, messed over her in her life. But it was just me and her. Okay? And at 69, in her failing health, if she told me, boy, who you talking to like that? I'm sorry, Ma. I mean, okay? And she couldn't whoop me, but just the remembrance of when she did gave me the respect. Okay? So you gotta think about the situation that you're in and know that there's a reason. If our Father in heaven, if our Father in heaven is allowing you to go through something, it's for a reason. It's to strengthen you. It is. We're going through all these waves of pain and stuff, and waiting for it to subside, and waiting for the stuff to kick in. It gives you patience. It really does. So when things come, you can take it. It makes you stronger. There's a quote that I heard from a television show a long time ago, and someone on the show said, pain is only weakness leaving the body. Pain is only weakness leaving the body. Take that and run with it, y'all. All right. So listen here. I'm going to talk a little bit about Deadpool and Wolverine. Number 1, no spoilers. Number 2, it was good. Period. It was good. Only one gripe I have with it, and I'll talk about that later after a lot of people have gotten a chance to see the movie. I was pissed because of that, but everything else I enjoyed thoroughly. It was so good. You need to go see it. All right, everybody, I love y'all. And that's all I'm going to give you right now because my tooth is starting to throb and I'm about to go here and take some more ibuprofen. So I love you guys. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. And I will see you on Wednesday. All right? I love you guys. That's what I forgot to tell you. I love you. And ain't nothing you can do about it.